Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to the Kickback Cafe, the show where we kick back, relax, and talk about anything but movies. And joining us today to break down the cast of Big Brother 17 is fellow reality TV enthusiast and also the knowingest know-it-all of the Know-It-Alls Alliance, Mr. IDInstitute. How you doing tonight? Or today, or whatever the hell time and day in the space-time paradox this is occurring. How you doing?
I'm good. I've been waiting a while for Big Brother 17.
Last season was very disappointing, I'd say. Had a pretty decent cast on the outset, but just the dynamics of the gameplay and how Derek just dominated over everything just kind of ruined it. I mean, it was a masterclass of gameplay, to be sure, but between Derek and then the combination of Cody and Victoria just being utter Derek enablers who didn't do a damn thing about it, and just, you know, they were basically just like, oh, sure, Derek, you deserve to win. Here, win, Derek, we want you to win. You know, and it was just kind of ridiculous. And I basically stopped watching after Zach left. That was kind of my breaking point, because after Zach left, I was like, okay, it's very obvious that they're just going to pick off Donnie and Nicole, which is exactly what happened. And then from there, they just pagonged all the way until we got to, you know, freaking Cody and Victoria. Anyways, let's not talk about Big Brother 16. I'm getting depressed already. Let's try and be optimistic. Big Brother 17. So we're going to go through this cast alphabetically, give our kind of short assessments, rank these players on kind of two criteria. One, how entertaining they'll be as characters, and two, also how effective they'll be as strategists. So with that in mind, before we get into it, what's your kind of overall take on this cast as a whole?
I like this cast. There are a few people that are pretty bland that I'm not, enthusiastic about, but it's definitely better than last year it's looking like it's better in terms of gameplay and characters.
Like I said, I think last year, when we first started out, we had a really promising group of people. I don't really think it was the cast last year that made it a bad season. I really don't. I think it was just a combination of the formation of the bomb squad, which basically led to this giant, season-long alliance. And then, because Devin, the weeks that Devin was in the house were just entertainment gold. Devin on his own was one of the most compelling TV characters we've had in a while. But unfortunately, of course, he was out on week 3. So, but yeah, I mean, of course, it just all has to do with how well this cast is going to vibe with each other and kind of, the dynamics. And I think one of the major things that we've been kind of seeing that's been ruining the gameplay is unanimous votes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, because people are afraid, if I don't vote with the majority, then I'm next.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. It's like on Survivor, you never see unanimous votes for the most part. So I don't know. It's just very. I mean, you'll sometimes see them in tribe settings, when it's still tribal and not individual. But for the most part in Survivor, it's mostly the two alliances going at each other. Whereas Big Brother, it seems like there's one core alliance, and then everyone else is like, well, I'm not in the alliance, but I'm scared to make a move, so I don't want to be next. I don't know. That's my imitation of a floater. All right. Well, with that in mind, we should let's just go ahead and get into it with our first house guest. We have Audrey Middleton. She's 25. She's a digital media consultant, and she very much wants to play a devious cutthroat game. What's your take on Audrey?
We were grading them on character and strategy. I think she's perfect for both.
I agree. I think she's kind of the prime, sort of, if you were to do those two circles within each other, the Venn diagram, I think she fits right in the middle. And that's why I'm really excited about her.
Yeah, and CBS is gonna play up her story the first few weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, to tell you the truth, it's we can get into it, it's she is transsexual, And she's the first transsexual person on a major U.S. reality show. I'm not sure if they've had them on, on other reality shows in other countries before. But to tell you the truth, I think that fact is kind of just going to be sort of a footnote for her because she's so into the game and she's so into just being this cutthroat kind of pathological player. And that's where she's coming at. I don't think she's coming at it to like get sympathy or anything like that. I don't think she's going to be in the diary room like kind of crying about it or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think maybe the edit might try and sort of force it down our throat a little bit in the first couple weeks. I agree with you there, and I definitely think she's going to be one of the house guests that gets the most screen time. But I really do feel like her character is going to just not have anything to do with her, the fact that she's transgender.
I agree, except for the final. Like when I before I knew she was transgender, then I thought I thought she was my winner pick. But I just feel like some of the house guests are gonna want to vote her out because they'll think if she gets to the end, then if she doesn't get the strategy vote, then she'll get the sympathy vote.
So it's kind of like the Kelly Bruno syndrome from Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I could see that. But in general, I think it's fair to say that we have Audrey kind of very high on both our lists. She's kind of a prime pick. I mean, I don't know. I just get a feeling that she seems like she's incredibly comfortable in her own skin. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not sure how long she's been transgender and how long she's been a woman. I don't know. Do you know that? What her background is in terms of that?
I can pull it up just now. I have the CBS site open.
I don't think it matters. All I'm saying is that, as a woman, she's just very confident, very feminine. She radiates it. She rocks it, So I feel like she's incredibly comfortable in her own skin to the point where I don't even think it's really going to be an issue with people.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess I read it somewhere else.
Don't worry about it. We need to keep it moving. So I say both of us are definitely thumbs up on Audrey, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's move on to the next contestant, Austin Madelson, who's 30 years old and a professional wrestler. What's your take on Austin?
I like him. I think he's he's gonna get stereotyped as one of just the strong, men that don't really know what they're doing. But he does know this game.
Yeah, he does. He really does. I'll tell you the person that I'm most worried that Austin is going to resemble, though, and that is Adam Pock.
I don't know who that is.
Adam Pock from Big Brother 13.
Yeah.
The guy who was like, "Oh, I love apple teenies and Farrah Fawcett." That guy.
Yeah, I kind of remember. I'm not a huge Big Brother fan. I'm much more Survivor.
Okay,
I started watching 14.
Oh, okay. Well, Adam Pock basically was the guy who enabled Rachel to win. So yeah, that should tell you something right there. That's all you need to know. And I that's kind of like the character that I don't want Austin to turn into, because like he mentioned, like, oh yeah, I'm a cheerleader, and so I don't really want it to be kind of I don't want to say cliche, because it's not necessarily a cliche out of Adam Pock, but I don't want him to be Adam Pock 2.0 in terms of being like the guy who's like all gruff and tough on the outside, but then a teddy bear on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But you're right. He absolutely does know the game, and I think he's got some good ideas in terms of coming into the house and playing up the fact that he's been out of wrestling for a while. I think that's incredibly smart on his end. It's the perfect way to lie in a reality show, which is to tell a truth but not tell the whole truth. And I think he's got it. I don't know. I think you're right. I think his biggest thing is that he might get targeted early on just for being a big personality and someone who, in spite of his whole claim to injuries and whatnot, might be looked at as a physical threat. So I'd like to say he's going to be a good character, but I also have Adam Pock on the line, so I'm a little reserved about that. I do think he's going to bring it in terms of gameplay. I think his one thing is going to be, just how other people perceive him and if other people see him as a threat.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be around long enough for him to be a good character, if you know what I mean.
So you think he's going to get booted like before the jury?
Yeah. Unless he wins the first hit of household, or he's in the big alliance at the beginning, then he might.
So maybe he has the potential to be like the next Donnie in a way, where Donnie was someone who knew a lot about the game, but he just was not in the bomb squad, was not in the detonators, and thus was just on the outside looking in the entire game strategy-wise.
Yeah, meanwhile, everyone is theorizing about his real life and
right. All right. Well, that's interesting. I think you and I think I'm a little higher up on Austin, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so next, I think we can both agree this is probably one of the weaker people in the cast.
Definitely.
Becky Burgess from Denver, Colorado. She's 26. She's a retail manager. Not very high on Becky, right?
No, I'm not at all. She said her strategy.
Victoria 2.0.
Yeah, her strategy was to lay low most of the game, which is you don't want to watch that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really. I mean, I'm trying to think of like one or two insightful things that she said during her interview. Like, there's a couple things she said about being a manager at such a young age and being able to manage people and whatnot. But you know what? Fucking everyone says that about their job, literally. Like, everyone says, oh, my job means I have good people skills and I can relate to people and blah, 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 blah. Literally, everyone says that about their job. It's such a cliche.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't disagree with her. I think she could have a good social game, but no one wants to watch that,
So I don't think we need to spend much time on Becky. We're both thumbs down on her, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might pick her. I might pick her earlier than you expect on our fantasy draft, though, based on the fact that I do think she has a lot of potential to just be this massive floater. Okay, then next we have Clay Honeycutt, who's 23 years old, a graduate student from Texas. Ah, God, this guy is so dull.
Mm-hmm. And
you agree with me?
Yeah, I do. And he looks exactly like Caleb, like the cowboy hat and the jacket.
He's Caleb minus any personality.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things strike me about him. One, I think it's very obvious he's not a Big Brother fan. He claims he's like, oh, if someone could be a super fan in 6 months, it'd be me. And I'm like, no, dude, you're a freaking college athlete. You wouldn't be caught dead watching Big Brother. You're not a Big Brother fan. I refuse to believe that you're a Big Brother fan.
Mm-hmm.
He is very obviously an applicant, a recruit. He's very obviously someone that they just picked up off the streets. Like, oh, look at that hunky guy. Let's put him on. And I'm just against it, man. I think he's going to be like a Cody type. Hell, he even said that I really like Cody because he basically just enabled Derek to win. I'm like, no. Cody should not be a player that anyone should be looking up to.
Mm-hmm.
At all. At all. Like, Cody brought Derek to the end over Victoria. Yeah, he's just... he's gonna be the person where I can just see the edit right now where it's like 3 or 4 different girls are gonna be like, oh my god, he's so hot, I want to get with him, and it's just I'm not interested. I'm not interested in him whatsoever.
That might make him targeted though. So
I think he is gonna be targeted.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is going to be. Although I said the same thing about Caleb, though. I definitely said the same thing about Caleb. Especially after Caleb came out and won half of the first HOH. But Caleb, he just, he was able to get himself into a majority alliance. And if this guy does get himself into a majority, then he could go far. And you know what? I think he has some potential for that. I think he has some social game in him. I think he's going to be a guy who can maybe relate to both guys and girls, on different levels. Like, he's a man's man, and he's also, like, obviously just a hunky guy who the women are going to gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm just not big on him as a character. I think he speaks in a really dull, kind of droll, monotone voice, which I don't get why they cast people like that. I just don't. It's like, don't cast people who have dull voices. All right. Anyway, so next up we have Devon Rogers, a poker dealer from Inglewood, California. This might be my favorite person in the entire cast.
I agree.
All right. So we're both really high on Devon. I mean, just what an infectious personality. She's like a Cerie, where it's like every time she opens her damn mouth, it's just you can't help but smile. It's like just everything she says. I think she's going to be great on the show. I think she's going to have great confessionals. I totally see her as a character. How well do you see her doing game-wise? Because I think we can both agree she's going to be a fun character for as long as she lasts.
I think she's going to do good game-wise. I think she knows the game. She's smart. Yeah. And, she's there to play the game. Or that's right. I got that sense from her interviews, at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I don't think there's a ton to say about her. I think the only thing that might get her in trouble is if she plays too fast. But I think she's got the know-how to not play too fast, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have Jason Goley from Venice Beach, and he's a personal trainer, 23 years old. I don't really have much of a read on this guy.
I like him. I think he's smart enough to I think he's smart enough to know the game, but people like Devon are gonna think he's just a recruit that doesn't.
Right. So is this guy the guy who's also the rapper?
I don't think so.
Because there's one guy on here who has like 4 different careers, and one of them is a rapper. I think it might be him. I think it might be Jace. Yeah, I think it might be. Because it says on his bio he's a personal trainer, but I know the interview that I saw, he was like, yeah, man, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a rapper. I'm a skater. Stuff like that. So
I remember.
Yeah. So I think that might be him. You know what he kind of reminds me of? Jay of Jay and Silent Bob.
No.
No, Kevin Smith characters. He reminds me of Jay. I'm sure if Blue Dragon 5 is watching, he'll know what I'm talking about. I agree with you that he definitely seems like the kind of person where he's a fan enough to know what's going on, but people might take him as just dumb. Having said that, surfer dudes have not had a lot of potential on Big Brother. When you look at the combination of like David, and then also Brayden from Big Brother 11, and those were both super surfer dudes who got voted out first. So we'll see. It all has to do with the perception. It all has to do with his social game. I think he's going to be a decent character.
Yeah, I agree. Hayden did okay.
Hayden. That's true. Right.
And I think Hayden's downfall was just that Derek was smarter than everyone there. I think Hayden would have done good if he survived the double eviction.
I think, Hayden was probably one of the better game players who was not a part of the bomb squad at any point. Mm-hmm. Or was he a part of the bomb squad at one point? I don't know.
He never was. He and Donnie were the 2 men left out.
All right, so next, speaking of Donnie, we have James Hewling, who's a self-proclaimed hillbilly Asian. And I think this is definitely going to be the Donnie of the season.
He's an interesting character. He lost me at at one point, the question where it says, "What past Big Brother contestant are you most like?"
Yeah.
He said Victoria because she is loyal.
Oh no. Oh no. Ugh. And that was exactly Donnie's problem as well, man. Donnie's problem was that he just didn't have the killer instinct for the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in terms of casting him, he's going to be entertaining, and I feel like he's going to be probably one of the people who's going to be guaranteed screen time like every episode.
Because he's an interesting character.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm up on him as a character, not a player.
Okay, I think we can both agree on that. I think there's not a lot more to say about that.
Yeah.
Okay, next, this guy I'm actually super excited about. Jason Roy, a supermarket cashier from Massachusetts. This guy is just larger than life in terms of strategy and in terms of personality. I really like this guy. I really do. I'm high on him. When I first saw him, I almost jumped out of my seat because I was like, wait, holy shit, is Ian Terry back? Because he's like a clone of Ian Terry. It's kind of creepy. He's like a clone of Ian Terry with a higher pitched voice. But no, I love this guy in terms of he seems to have a million different plans in his head, and he seems to know like which ones, he seems to have the killer instinct to sort of know, what plans to go with, what plans to disregard, to just kind of let the game sort of take its course and not really commit to anything. I really like his observation about, well, if I get with the girls, I get with the girls, and I'm going to be like the gay linchpin of the girls. But if there's a showmance, then you bet your ass I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be the girl's best friend. I'm going to let that showmance be the meat shield. So I'm like, this guy he's approaching it with so many different angles.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I worry about is people might sniff him out as being a weasel.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I see that can be his downfall.
Yeah, but what do you think about him just from a character perspective?
He's great. He's entertaining, funny. I
love how self-deprecating he is.
Mm-hmm. Also,
and he's not self-deprecating in kind of the annoying sort of Ian Terry way, where Ian Terry was just genuinely like just unconfident about himself. He's self-deprecating in terms of like he uses it as humor,
mm-hmm.
and not just like, oh well, I'm weird and I don't know. If you can tell, I'm not a big Ian Terry fan.
Yeah. Did you notice it? Right, his occupation is a supermarket cashier. If he tells that to the house, like, you're gonna get those confessionals from like people like, I'm not buying this lie or something like that,
Yeah. But I have seen supermarket cashiers, man, and he's right. They can be very social. Working in customer service, I feel like he's one of the people that has like a genuine reason to say that he's a social threat, because of that, because he's worked so many years in customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just knows how to make people happy. He knows how to make people laugh. Yeah, I'm really high up on this guy. I really am. I have a good feeling about him. I mean, he could be out in like the first few weeks if he plays too hard, but I don't think he will.
Yeah.
I think he's smart enough to not play too hard. I think he's going to be the Andy type of player who's just going to try and just make sure that he's in good with as many people as possible so he has as many options as possible. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on, we have John McGuire, the rock star dentist from Pennsylvania. Okay, well, I think you and I can both agree this guy's going to be a great character, but probably a shitty strategist.
I don't know about that. He seems like he knows what he's doing, but I think it's going to be our Zach. I really do think he's going to be the new Zach.
I would compare him more to. I know you don't watch Big Brother Canada, but I compare him more to Greg from Big Brother Canada 3. But I can see a little bit Zach in there too. Yeah, he definitely seems to be a social media hustler, just like Zach was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has energy, and I think he just wants to be entertaining, you know.
Yeah, and you're right. I feel like that was Zach's #1 mission. Zach never cared about, like strategy or anything like that. He barely even cared about even winning the game or anything. So I think that's going to be this guy as well. Although I think he might have more of an eye for the game than Zach did.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think we can both agree that this guy's going to be an entertaining character for sure. I also definitely think he's going to be a person who gets a lot of screen time just because, rock star dentist. It's like that's just really flashy. But
he's going to be the guy that yells in the confessional.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God. Oh, my. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I will admit these next few people I kind of had to skim through to kind of speed along. So I don't really have much to say about him. But Liz Nolan, marketing coordinator from Miami, what's your take on her?
She just seems like another person. Like what she said in her interview. Yeah, I'm here to play the game. I'm going to flirt with everyone. I'm going to win all these competitions. But I don't think she's going to actually turn out like that.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like how on Survivor, how on Survivor all the girls say that they're going to be like.
What?
On Survivor, when a lot of the cast interviews, a lot of the female characters say they're going to be like Parvati.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just don't see much coming out of her. I really don't. I don't know. I mean, she could surprise us. She could be like who really surprised me was Brittany from Big Brother 12, who, when I saw her cast photo and her, and her interview and everything, I thought, well, this is just not a very good character at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, turned her out. You saw her on Big Brother 13. Or 14. She was a really, really good character. Like one of the best female characters that Big Brother has cast at least since All Stars. So we never know. It could turn out like that. But I think you and I are both kind of not very high on Liz.
No.
One person I am high on though, Meg Maley from 25. Well, this is my Big Brother crush of the season. That's all I can say. She's self-proclaimed weird girl, and I love weird girls. That's totally my type. So that's basically all I'm going to think of when I think of Meg. I mean, I do think she has a good eye for the game. I think she's going to be fun. What do you think?
I got a very big recruit feeling from her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all because she seemed super excited about it. She seemed like just naturally very energetic and very just happy to be there to me.
Yeah, I think she was happy and excited there to have fun, but not really to play the game.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just my take.
I didn't get that at all. I got that she was excited to play the game, but I don't know. Then again, I was kind of skimming the interview a little bit, so. Well, I'm definitely high on her, but that's just because, like, she is just totally my type. So we'll just leave it at that. Okay, next, just really quickly going through these last few people. Shelly Poole from Louisiana. I did not really see her interview at all. I kind of just skimmed very brief parts of it. So what's your take?
Her. I think she could do okay. I think she's smart, and she's not going to play the game hard at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to observe. People are going to think, yeah, she's boring, but I get the feeling towards the end of the game she'll be willing to make big moves.
Could she perhaps be another Gina Marie type player?
Maybe, but not as big as a character.
There will never be another Gina Marie. I think Gina Marie is really underrated as a character. All right, anyways. Okay, so moving on from Shelly, we have Steve Moses. And I got to tell you, this guy is probably maybe with the exception of Clay, probably my least favorite of the guys. Just because he seems like a total game bot. He is just nothing but strategy, and there's just nothing else about him. He has no soul.
That's why I like him. I want to see him crash and burn in the social aspect of the game.
Yeah, because I think that's where he's headed. Because I was very put off by him because he was just like, he just seems to think it's just one big giant game of chess, and it's not. It's all about human interactions, which I would guess he probably doesn't have a lot of, and I don't have a lot of human interactions either, so I'm not one to talk, but
especially with all the twists, you have to rely on like social.
Exactly. I'm not high on this guy at all. I think he's arrogant. I think he's oh man, and if he is successful, then it's just going to be a boring kind of successful because he's the definition of a game bot for me. He really is. It's just like all strategy and no character.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tyler from last season of Survivor, except even worse. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, you never know. It all depends on how well these people do in the diary room when it comes to entertainment. So you never know. He could have awesome diary rooms. Like I said, that was kind of the big strength of Brittany, so you never know. It's always a potential that he could be like this epic character. But from what I've seen so far, he just doesn't have it. He's just like strategy. And he's also very obviously typecast as like kind of the super fan. And I don't think we need another one after Jason. I think Jason works just fine as the super fan type. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and rounding it out is Vanessa Rousseau from Las Vegas, who is a professional poker player and DJ. So I got to tell you, man, I hate to say this, but I think she's going to be Paula 2.0. Hello? Oh, no, we lost him. Oh, no. Well, that's not good because we were about to get to our damn fantasy draft. Come on, IDI, where are you? All right, well. Okay, well, great. I don't know what to do now. Oh, geez. Well, I guess I can stall for time by going on to CBS.com and reading Vanessa's bio. Vanessa, Big Brother. Stalling for time. Okay, he's online. Okay, Big Brother. Vanessa Rousseau. I will just go ahead and read her cast bio. Yeah. Okay, 3 adjectives that describe you: electric, maverick, and adaptable. Favorite activities: making music, listening to music, DJing. Hey, what's up?
I don't know what happened.
I panicked because I was like, oh no, we're about to get to the fantasy draft. There's no one else to talk about. So what's your take on I like Vanessa on the outset. I just think that she's so similar to Paula from last season that I worry that she's going to suffer a similar fate.
I don't know. I didn't watch her video actually, but I heard some things. Apparently, she's like a poker player.
She's a poker player / DJ. Yeah. DJing is definitely a very important part of her life, in terms of like being creative and everything like that. And she says she wants to incorporate actually, I think the one thing that she said in her interview that really kind of got my attention was she said that her favorite player is Dan, and she admitted that that's kind of a cliche answer to give, which I think right away that kind of shows self-awareness. But and she said the reason why her favorite player was Dan is because she's such an artistic person in real life, and Dan put so much creativity into his strategy, and he did it like arguably like no other reality TV person in history, with especially with Dan's funeral. So what do you think about that? I think that kind of gives her some cred, just that whole statement.
Yeah, I agree. I think she'll be interesting to watch.
All right. Okay. Anything else about her?
I think that's pretty much it. If you want to get to the fantasy draft now, that would be cool.
Yeah, just really quickly, I'm just kind of writing out the names on my document, which I should have done beforehand. James, a lot of J's.
Yeah.
Jason, John, Liz, Liz, Meg, Shelly, Steve, and Vanessa. Vanessa. All right, no, I won't go into Daredevil. All right, so I'll let you have the first pick. Who do you want?
Devon.
All right, good choice. I will go ahead and pick Jason.
Good. Yep. I'm gonna pick Jace.
Jace, okay. All right, let me see here. Well, I will go ahead and pick my crush, which is Meg.
I'll take Vanessa.
All right. Wait, Jace. Do I not have Jace on here? Oh, I already deleted. All right, hold on. Let me just. I'm just trying to make sure I have everyone crossed off. Okay. My next choice, I'm going to take Audrey. Screw it. I'm surprised it's taken her that long to get picked. All right. Your next choice?
Tiki?
Yeah. Hello?
I don't hear you. Oh, hey.
Hey. That was weird. I picked Audrey. So what's your next pick?
Becky.
Becky? Really? Okay, fair enough. She's gonna go far, yeah. All right. All right, let's see. I will pick let's see. Let's go with this is getting tough now. Let's go with John. I'll go with John.
All right. See who's left. I'll take. No. Yeah, Austin.
Austin. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go with your strategy when it comes to Vanessa, and I'll also pick a floater and pick Liz. I'm sorry, not Vanessa. Becky. So my pick's Liz.
All right. So who's left? We have
Clay, James, Shelly, and Steve.
Okay. All right. I'll take James, I guess.
James, okay. I definitely I'll pick Shelly. I don't really know much about Shelly, but women in her demographic have tended to do well in the past.
Mm-hmm. So between Steve and Clay?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pick Clay. I think we'll get in a good alliance at the beginning.
Damn it! No. Don't leave me with Steve. I hate Steve. All right, I'm just kidding. I don't know enough about Steve to really know one way or another. All right, so that leaves us with a final draft of IDI. You have Devon, Jace, Vanessa, Becky, Austin, James, and Clay. And then I have Jason, Meg, Audrey, John, Liz, Shelly, and Steve. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about my people. What do you think?
Yeah, I like mine.
All right. Although I probably had the worst fantasy draft in the history of fantasy drafts with Tiki's tributes. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. So with that in mind, I think that about does it for our Big Brother 17 cast assessment. Are you interested at all about doing maybe bi-weekly or monthly coverage of Big Brother 17? I know it's a lot to ask to do it weekly, but
yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do it regularly, but I'd love to do a few shows.
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of as the game plays out, kind of come on after a few people have been eliminated, come on when we reach jury, stuff like that. Kind of space it out that way. All right, so yeah, we could look forward to that because I've definitely wanted to talk about a reality TV show season, and I think this is probably a good opportunity for it. So in the meantime, I'm trying to think of something clever to say. But first, stay tuned for twist after twisty, McTwist, twist, 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 McTwist, McTwister, twist, 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 twistington, twist, 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 twist after twisty, twist, twistos, twist, twist.